What are we gonna do today? Well, the main goal of today is showcasing everything that has been done in the past few days. I saw a lot of people confused by the title, saying that this is day 4. It is day 4 of the development process of this game. It is not day 4 of streaming. So no, you didn't miss out on anything. This is the second stream within this project. I think we should start with a recap. For anyone that joins us that hasn't joined last time, or for anyone that will watch this video in the future, let's start with a quick recap. So, the goal of this project is to make a game in 1 month, and it's going to be a combination of genres and games. In short, it's Mirror's Edge, but in a horror game and in hell. That's basically the biggest premise, with the addition of being structured like an getting over it / only up game, so like a Fodian game. Basically, the level design is done in a way that you lose progress by falling down and you gain progress by climbing up. And now imagine with only up, but with a jump scare around every corner and spooky scenes and an immersive first-person experience, because we are taking the first-person parkour element from Mirror's Edge. Okay, so that's basically the game. We're gonna try to make that in 1 month. So, first of all, I propose we take a look at the asset and character showcase. So, the 3D team started working on blockouts for different models. So we plan on having these kind of street areas with cars and so on. Like, basically we want to replicate a very small chunk of a main city in a almost hellish post-apocalyptic way. And so we'll have like bus stops and phone booth, I think, maybe. Cars. This is all a blockout, right? This is not the final models, just to be clear. But this is an early blockout. And then the main character. Obviously, it's going to be first person, so it doesn't have a head. No point in adding a head with the first walk cycle prototype. Now, we haven't added this walk cycle to our character blueprint yet, so I won't be able to showcase how this looks. Important is these walk cycles are made specifically for first person, so they might look a bit weird in third person, although I think this walk cycle looks perfectly fine, but some of the future animations might look weird. But it's basically so that if you're in first person and we have the camera strapped to the body, the camera doesn't move too much. Okay, those are the assets, pretty cool. I really like how he's wounded and he has like little wounds everywhere and some reddish everywhere. It's torn pants. This looks particularly painful. Oh my god, this. Yeah, I would not like to be in his shoes, which is exactly what we want. You know, it's a guy that is in hell and he's suffering, so that's what we wanted to portray. Okay, so the goal is that we have a character and he starts here, basically. He starts inside this hole. There will be lava and lots of stuff, and then he looks up to the tower and he sees this huge tower, and obviously, like the good player he is, he will be like, I want to go to that tower. And that's at least hope. We want to basically, instead of trying to force the player into a direction, we want to guide him visually. Obviously, he will not be able to go in a different direction just because the scope of this game wouldn't allow this kind of stuff. This is the early blockout. So the goal is that he will, in this area here, he will learn the parkour mechanics. He'll learn how to climb, how to use these first-person mechanics to climb and avoid different obstacles. And then he arrives at the big building, and that's where the main game will start. And so yeah, that's the early blockout. Not much to show. This is mostly to see how big stuff is. Let's look at it from the character's perspective. I made a quick like first person kind of view. This is the size, so it does have quite a big scale, which is a bit worrying considering the time we have to design the whole level and create this whole environment. But overall, this is the kind of sense of scale that I want in the game. There was another map, was a very early prototype. but as you can see in the thumbnail, we have this idea of we want to have a blinking eye system, or a big eye demon that always watches you and also illuminates the area. And so basically the eye, as you can see, he closes, the light stops, and then he opens. Like, that was just a very early test of this. The goal is that when the eye is closed, you don't see anything to kind of disrupt the player. But this isn't where we want it yet. And it's not on the top of our priority list, but it is something we would like to have in the game. Okay, enough of that. Now to my favorite part, actually. And that is, we can look at the shader test. If you remember last time, we worked on the visuals in a different map, and the map that was full of assets that looked great. So I tried to replicate the visuals and the shader in here. Obviously, we don't have the red lava. It is a bit brighter because it's outdoors and so on, but this is kind of the visual style we would like to go with. But we might change it along the road, but this is for now how things are supposed to look. It's kind of stylized, pixelated, very slight pixelization, but pixelated look. Now, my favorite part, and that's the sound system. We have a very talented sound engineer, sound designer. He's kind of everything. He's basically designing the whole audio system of the game, as well as actually creating the audios himself. So our character is barefoot. So he actually goes outside and records him walking barefoot on different surfaces. That isn't in yet, but it is in the process. Can't wait for that. But what we do have is a sound system implementation that I can show you guys. So this is the sound, and we wanted a very realistic sound. Since it's first person, it's a horror game, sound is very important. So we have this very extensive sound system with different surfaces. So this is wood, metal, marble, dirt, concrete. So it all sounds very good. I'm very happy with how this is turning out. And then we obviously have different sounds for when it's indoor and the sound is like echoing around. So let's have a listen to that. Yeah, this sounds great. I'm very hyped about the sound system in the game, to be honest. This sounds really cool with the music areas. It really sounds realistic. Overall, this is like really immersive. I'm very happy with how this sound is turning out. Yeah, damn. Sounds great, right? Different surfaces indoors. These are all placeholder sounds, and it already sounds so good. I can't wait to hear how it will sound in the final game. And just this area where, you know, it echoes around here, and then you leave this area, and how the sound changes. Listen to this. Oh man, it sounds so good. I'm really happy with this. So yeah, these are the systems. Now let's take a look at my parkour system, which looks a bit funky for now. So my system is still in its early stages, although most of the like the scanning mechanics, because I have to scan for walls and the height of walls and adjust all that. There's also no eye key adjustments yet. I just started working on that. But slowly now I can bring in the animations and so on, so hopefully the progress on this will be soon a lot more visual. But for this, I think for now I'll turn on my debugging tool so you can actually see what's happening a little bit more. So let's turn this on. And yeah, this is a huge blueprint component, so it's absolutely massive. So let's take a look at this. So I have my ground check at the bottom. I did a different ground check than the Unreal Engine implemented one because I think I needed like some of the stuff didn't work with the is falling node, so I needed something that tells me when I'm really effectively on the ground. When I press space, I have these scans, and then when it detects a wall, for example, it looks at the whole wall. These are a lot of traces for now. I'll probably reduce the amount, but for now that's how much it has. And when you get to a wall that you can actually climb, and press space, you'll actually grapple onto it. And newly implemented is actually moving around on the wall. Now this looks a bit funky for now still. As you can see, the hands don't match up, but all the checks are in place to prevent you from like glitching through the wall and doing stuff you're not supposed to, or climbing up on stuff you're not supposed to. And the really cool thing is, something that is already in as well, is that if there's a difference, for example here, you will automatically adjust. But when the height is too high, he will not be able to climb that additional. A cool thing as well, there's different climbing methods, like this one, but also this one that you can dynamically change in between. These are so many line traces, holy. And now let's take a look at it in first person. I go up to the wall, I jump up to the wall, and then I can climb up here. Everything works. Obviously the character is not made to be first person, and the animations are still a bit too jittery as well. But all that is, I think, will be fixed in the near future. So yeah, that's basically the progress that we have for now in our 4 days of development. Still a lot of work to do, but I'm hoping to get this whole parkour system done by Monday. At least the prototype version, so that we can actually start building the level and designing all the little parkour puzzle almost, I would call it. First of all, we start by importing some of the assets that we used last time to the main project. Although last time I tried that, it went terribly wrong. Considering the wall running stuff will probably not work with the system working now, I don't think I'll have to change it significantly anyways. Also, I'm not actually convinced there will be wall running in the similar way as in Mirror's Edge, just because it is a horror game with a more slower pace. So maybe we'll implement some kind of, I'm not sure. I'm not convinced about wall running yet. I'll definitely add it to just see how it feels inside the game, but it might not make it to the game. Okay, so let's dig into this. So, level main. Let's see. Let's add the post-processing volume to this. I think it was this one, and it was 15? Would that be? Maybe. Although the red doesn't come out nicely. Is this really the right one? Now, let's adjust the light. Directional light maybe a little bit. Like something like 4, just to make it slightly darker. Black and white, no. Blue bloom, no. Higher color. What does this do? Well, that's not bad. Maybe. I think it's hard to tell until we have the environment properly set up. So I think I'm going to leave it at something, just a random thing for now. So we have some kind of color grading. Let's go back to what I had before, the BD14, because I know that's what I chose in the other pack. I mean, I think the easiest way is just to take a look at it. Let's take a look at the main map. I mean, not the main map, but the designer map. That's how I called it. Designer map, to see what kind of visual shading we used exactly. So here we use the shader. You see how nice and red, and like how the red popped nicely? But maybe that's just... No, it does look nice. I like this shader. So why doesn't it look as good in the other one? Let's see. LUT. BD15. We use BD15 on 0.6. Let's see. So BD15 on 0.6. I guess. Red is pretty nice and vibrant. Are you interested in parkour ERL? Oh my god, I can't say that. ERL. Yeah, kind of, but it's not like I have time at the moment. Like I'm not somebody that underestimates how hard parkour can actually be. And it's definitely something you have to invest a lot of time in. Obstacle. So you know how in Pro Skater there's like this grinding minigame that you have to like balance with left and right, like this thing? We might want something similar to that, where if you're like walking over the plank, let's go to this plank here, for example. Like you walk. Oh, okay, the stairs don't have collisions yet, I guess. Let's just stand in the lava. Where you'll have to walk over this plank, right? And there will be like a balancing mini game where you have to like make sure not to tilt too much to the right or to the left. And then just to be extra evil, we might throw in some jump scares while you're walking over this. You have like some jump scares, and if you don't react fast enough, like to counter with the balancing mini game, you'll fall off. So that's what we plan to do. I'm really excited to see how this whole thing will play, you know, once the parkour system is in. I guess it's supposed to be wall running. We'll see if that is implemented. There will be ways to die, like there will be death events, and the deaths are pretty punishing because you go back to the start. Like every time you die, you wake up at the very start. But the death events will be quite rare, like it doesn't happen too often. However, the main way we punish the player will be by pushing him off. So imagine you're like doing a jumping puzzle here and you miss it and you fall all the way back down. You know, it's kind of sad. Like, I think the pixelation shader looks cool, but I'd rather have something not pixelated. But we kind of need, I mean, we don't, maybe we don't. Maybe at the end we'll manage to do a different style, but the main reason why we have the pixelation shaders for asset consistency. So if we ever import an asset or we make an asset that is not 100% consistent with all the asset, it will be less visible if it's slightly pixelated. And so the top part will be the end. So this is the end. How does it feel? Yeah, the building does feel pretty big, I would say. Could be almost a bit bigger, but we can make the top part bigger, like have an extra big platform. But the view is kind of cool. That's crazy high, dude. Oh, that looks amazing. Like imagine you standing up there. You know what I want to do as well? Is there ever a sliding mechanic? Probably, but not in the sense where you can run and slide. It'll more be a forced slide where the platform under you breaks and you start sliding down. So that's more how I have it in mind. Anyways, thank you everyone for joining this very short stream. And I hope to see you on Monday. Monday will be the next stream. You know what I just noticed? We did this whole stream without music. That's kind of sad. But I guess it will be easier to edit this video. Bye-bye.